Travis joins us. Where are you right now, Travis?
Hi, I'm at my home right now near High Wycombe, relaxing after the flight, and yeah, that's where I am right now.
What an amazing achievement this has been for you. So many new records, 18 years of age, 25,000 miles. Is it sinking in? Has it calmed down in your mind yet?
It's. I'm still thinking about it all the time, and I'm still kind of in the mindset where I'm going to wake up early in the morning and be planning a flight the next day and thinking, oh, what's the weather going to be like tomorrow? What's my route tomorrow? What have I got to worry about with the aircraft? So I still find myself in that mindset of, going and, the hard working mindset, but it's definitely a surreal feeling, like all of that being over. And I keep thinking about, just how great it was to complete the flight, and absolutely amazing feeling to do it and experience it. And it was great.
It's incredible to follow. I was watching it every day when I could, or your social media content, which was excellent, by the way. It's easy to think in the day and age we are now with internet, with Zoom, with social media, that the world is such an easy place to get around. We can get around so quickly. But to do it solo in an aircraft, I mean, it's no mean feat. It wasn't an easy thing. It had its challenges, didn't it?
Yeah, that's right. So it was, getting around with in an aircraft is definitely a lot different than getting around in a car. You can't just turn the sat nav on. So it's definitely a lot more challenging. That being said, I do have sort of a sat nav device, and I had a few issues with that on the flight, which did make it more challenging. But yeah, it was definitely very, very difficult flying around the world. We got in Russia, they all work in meters instead of feet, and they use older navigation aids and stuff like that. So it's a lot more difficult and challenging flying over there. Flying over the ocean as well, you've got no points. You've just got to tell where you are in coordinates. So you have to, plot down the coordinates with the time and relay that back to air traffic control. So that's definitely very difficult. But definitely been helped a lot with recent developments with technology and automation. So that was great having the GPS on board and a really nice autopilot. Made the flight well lifesaver really. I wouldn't have been able to do the flight without an autopilot. Yeah.
When did it first come into your mind that this was what you were going to do? How long ago were we talking when you first thought, I'm going to do this?
Well, I first got the idea of flying around the world back when I was really young. I was about 12 years old. I read a magazine article. I read a book actually. About someone who flew around the world back in the early 2000s. Her name is Polly Vatcher.
Mutual friend. I know her son, Brian Vatcher.
Yes.
Yeah, we know Brian.
Yes. Yeah, you know her. Yeah. So she Wings Around the World is a book, and that really inspired me and gave me the idea of it. Yeah. But it wasn't until I actually flew solo in a glider on my 40th birthday, and around that time I read a magazine article about someone called Lachlan Smart, and he flew around the world back then, broke the world record to the youngest person. And I thought, I've just flown in a glider on my 14th birthday, youngest person to fly solo in a glider. If I could do that, maybe I should push to this for this record. Yeah. And so that's really what gave me the idea and the goal to go and beat this record.
And you got your 600 hours while you were doing it as well.
That's right. Yeah, I was in a Cessna 172, not the fastest aircraft, so I got plenty of hours going around.
I think you were going backwards at some stages.
Yeah. So in some stages, I had to go backwards. So in order to beat the record, you have to fly at least 21,900 something miles.
Yes.
And that's the length of the equator. Sorry. So in order to do that, my route actually was a lot of it was in the northern hemisphere, meaning in order to fly that minimum distance of the length of the equator, I would have to zigzag, and so I had to go backwards a few times, and I was just going zigzagging and essentially just building up those miles to qualify for the record.
Actually, it was a bit of a jokey comment. I meant going backwards compared to your ground speed with some of the winds you were flying into.
Yeah, so at one point I got to a 28 knot ground speed, which was absolutely ridiculous. I mean, that's like motorway speeds. It was really, really slow, and definitely a struggle going along with that. Actually caused me to do an unplanned diversion into Canada on that day, because of the unforecasted winds. Meant I couldn't make it onto my destination.
Yeah. Any mechanical problems at all?
I had a few issues. I had an issue with my GPS. I had a GPS antenna failure, and so I was it was actually gradually getting worse and worse during the duration of the flight. So it started in Russia. Departed. And I noticed that I was only getting, I wasn't getting GPS signal when I was like, below 500 feet or something, which I thought that was just, Russian GPS satellites weren't as, didn't have that coverage. But it got worse and worse and worse. And eventually I was in Ireland and I actually departed from Ireland and I thought, oh, I'll get the signal any minute now. But I got up to my cruising altitude of flight level 090 and still no GPS signal, and I was heading out over the Atlantic. So I just told them what happened, and luckily I was within range still of the VOR in Cork in Ireland. Yeah. So I just turned around, went straight towards the VOR and landed safely, and did an ILS approach, landed safely. So quickly, easy fix, just took the antenna out, put the new one back in, and then it was super quick and easy. And apart from that, the aircraft worked absolutely great. I did a 100-hour check in Texas, and the guy took the cowling off and he looked at the engine. He was like, wow, this engine does not look like it's been flown halfway around the world. He was very impressed with the engine. So yeah, no issues with the aircraft whatsoever apart from that.
It looked like you got a good welcome. Everybody was looking after you. Was it anywhere where it was a bit tense, or was it good feelings everywhere?
There were a couple of times when it was a bit tense. The first time was entering Russia in an airport called Pskov. That's my port of entry for Russia. And there's actually a half military base, half Air Force base, half civil base. And because it was half military, there was a lot of guards, a lot of big soldiers and big stripes, big hats, and green uniforms. And they were asking me what's in every single bag, like taking photos of all the cameras and stuff I had, and asking loads of questions. And but they were actually really nice once I got through customs. They were really friendly, and after that, he was really plain sailing for Russia. Everyone was super nice until when I got to the US. I entered the US in Alaska. If you know, border control was great there, but I had to, as I mentioned, I did an unplanned diversion to Canada, flying down from Alaska into mainland US. And because of that, I hadn't done the paperwork for re-entering the country into, and I wasn't, as I should have mentioned, I wasn't allowed to stay in Canada because of the coronavirus situation. Right. So I had to leave straight away. But I hadn't done the paperwork for arriving in the US. I tried to call the office, they didn't pick up, and I actually landed around 1 a.m. local time in Seattle. At Boeing Field Airport, the Boeing factory. Yeah. I landed there. I asked the ATC where the border, where do I park for border force, and they told me where to park. And I see the building with the border force, and all the lights are completely turned off. And I see the sign, all the lights are turned off. But right next to it, there's another building with that. It's actually, I think it was connected, and the lights are all on. So I parked in front of that building, and I stopped there. And as I'm getting out the aircraft, I see a border force car come over, and the guy gets out and he's got his hands on his holster of his gun, and he's like, "You're gonna go to border force jail tonight. You're gonna, I'm gonna take your license away," all that sort of stuff. And I was like, "Oh, okay, I'm sorry about that. What do you want me to do?" Is like, "I want you to park your plane over here." And it turns out he came over. And then he turned the lights on inside the place as I was following him in. So that was, that was definitely the most tense part, was actually arriving in the US.
Did he calm down then? Did he
relax? Yeah. So after he checked all my stuff and he looked in every bag, he was like, "Oh, we get a lot of drug smugglers from Canada and all that sort of stuff." So he was, once he found out I wasn't a drug smuggler, he definitely calmed down a lot, and he was like, "Oh, sorry about that. That's just the protocol or whatever." So yeah, he became really nice eventually.
What an incredible experience. Where do you think, Travis? I saw some of the places that you landed, which surprised me at how beautiful they were. Which places stuck in your mind as feeling, wow, I never expected this place to be as beautiful or as nice as it is?
I think flying over Lake Baikal in Russia, that was absolutely amazing. It's the world's oldest lake, and the sights are incredible. There's mountains around it, and just really, really clean water. Like really nice blue water. And if you see photos of it frozen, it's just like you can see right through the lake. It's so clean and clear. And just flying over that was absolutely incredible. that was some of the amazing sights. Yeah, that was one of the amazing sights. But so many more in Russia. There was landing in Yekaterinburg in Russia. This is a city I went to. I mean, I thought it wouldn't really be that much of a nice place. I never heard of it before I started planning for this flight. But when I showed up there, it was such a nice place. The airport was really nice. The people were so friendly, and it's such a new, nice, modern city. Everyone was super friendly, and that was definitely one of the best stops I did. Russia was incredible with sights and people. Yeah.
Do you think it's changed you as a person? Do you feel like you're a different person after this marathon? Do you feel like something's different?
Yeah, I definitely think so. I think I'm a lot more sensible now. I feel I'm a lot more confident as a pilot as well. So confident as a person, confident as a pilot, a lot more sensible. I definitely had some scary moments during the flight which could have been avoided. Actually flying into Yekaterinburg, Russia, I ran very low on fuel, ran to about 20 minutes left of fuel when I landed there. So that was definitely scary, and that taught me to be a lot more cautious with it. I like to have more fuel than I need now, and but apart from that, I'm a lot more confident. I find that flying is a lot easier as well than now just around the UK. So yeah, it's definitely changed me for the better, and I'm glad I did it.
What would you say, Travis? This is a bit of a tricky question, but to any young person who's watching now, boy or a girl, 13 or 14 years of age, you've got in their mind somewhere that the aviation is something that they want to do, but they're not from that kind of a family and they haven't got lots of disposable income. What would you say to them? How would they push forward to get inside, or to be on an airfield, or just to get involved?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'd say just keep believing, keep trying to push your aviation goals. Just go arrive at airports, hang out with them, tell them you want to you want to fly, and I'm sure a lot of people are really friendly at airports, and they could definitely people would you can give you lessons or whatever. They can just asking for flights, talking to your parents about it. You don't actually need a lot of money. I mean, you can do this. You can span this over years to get your license. Really, you're talking maybe maybe £500 a year if you want to do it over 2-3 years or something. So, or actually, sorry, probably a bit more than that. But it's you can't make it affordable, and making your dream a reality. And just say keep pushing towards your goals, keep aiming, and eventually you'll make it. Yeah.
So you hear that, everybody? Just get to the airfield, offer to wash the planes, do anything, just ask for flights. It's possible, isn't it? You can achieve if you just put yourself out there a little bit,
That's right. Yeah. And actually, I have a good friend of mine. That's exactly what he did. I mean, he didn't really come from a monetary background, and he just made good friends with the people at the airport. Helped them, actually worked for them a little bit, I think, and he's now doing his skills test or any day now. He's just trying to find a booking, and he'll be doing it. So good luck to him, and very, very great what he did.
Brilliant. How have you felt with the media side of all this, all the interviews and things, and all that kind of circus side of it? Have you enjoyed it?
I have actually enjoyed it. Yeah, I enjoy telling people the story. I like hearing people's reactions to some of the stories, and I love spreading the message of what I did, and spreading the message, to encouraging people, motivating people to go and follow their dreams, and keep aiming, keep pushing for their goals. And just amazing to tell the story to everyone around the world.
I can't wait for the documentary. I can't wait for the book. I can't wait for the TED Talk. I'm sure all those things are going.
Yeah.
What's next, Travis? What have you got your eyes on?
To be honest, I'm not really too sure. I've had some opportunities open up for me. So British Airways actually invited me down to fly in their simulators. They're really nice simulators at Heathrow. And at the same time, they said bring your CV with you. So that's pretty awesome. As well as that, I'm quite interested in renewable energy for aircraft, so electric aircraft. I've actually been speaking to one of the CEOs of a company who sponsored me, and he's Chinese. He's got very good connections in China, and over there they're actually developing electric aircraft And I'm interested in actually going over there, helping develop electric aircraft, maybe be a test pilot over there, and hopefully one day break the world record of the first person to fly around the world in an electric aircraft. I'm not too sure there.
Amazing. Which company was that, Travis? The sponsor there with that?
So the sponsor was Hangar One, and they're based in the Netherlands, but good, CEO has good connections in China, and they've been absolutely amazing sponsor, and great people to work with. Really nice.
Well, fantastic. Well, Travis, I know you're a busy man. Thanks very much for joining us. I really appreciate it, and hearing your story a little bit. And we're going to keep following and hopefully catch up with you at some other point further down the line. And if we ever allowed back into the UK, we'll come and do a live interview with you for Airsports News. Travis, thanks very much.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Have a good one.
And you will.